Grandma shares her heartbreaking story of struggle and resilience that will inspire you. Mia stood at the water's edge, the salty air whipping her hair into a frenzy. Her quaint seaside town, with its pastel houses and cozy cafes, felt both enchanting and suffocating. The rhythmic crash of waves felt like the heartbeat of a wild creature, echoing the tumult in her chest. She had grown tired of her family's chaos, the arguments, the silent treatments, the weight of expectations, and now, as she watched the horizon, she wished for escape. Then came the unexpected knock at the door. It was her estranged grandmother, Evelyn. Once a renowned artist, with colors swirling around her like a vivid dream, Evelyn was a ghost in Mia's family lore, a vibrant figure turned shadow now. Frail and wandering back into their lives, the two locked eyes, a mix of familiarity and wariness swirling between them. Mia felt a tightness in her throat. She wasn't sure if she wanted to hug or shove this woman who had vanished when she was most needed. As they settled into the cottage that smelled of damp wood and sun-dried seaweed, Evelyn's stories unfolded like layers of an old canvas, fragmented yet beautiful. She spoke of love lost to war, her first flame, a young man with bright dreams and a gentle smile, who never returned home. Mia felt her pulse quicken, the weight of 1,000 questions pressed down. How could she admire this woman who abandoned them, yet feel drawn to the pain that had shaped her? Every brushstroke I made after that was laced with his memory, Evelyn murmured, her voice a fragile whisper, as if sharing a secret too precious for the world. Mia watched as her grandmother's hands trembled, the ghost of a vibrant artist now reduced to memories painted in muted tones. The silence between them thickened, charged with emotion neither could vocalize. The old woman's eyes shimmered with unshed tears, speaking of resilience born from heartache. What about the family heirloom Evelyn had whispered about? What secret lay buried beneath the chaos they both lived in? A relic of the past that could stitch their torn hearts or widen the rift. As Mia listened, she struggled against her confusion. The admiration crept in, battling resentment. The art school she dreamed of felt like a distant star, dimmed by the overbearing shadows cast by her family's tumult. She'd always hidden her sketches, fearing judgment. Evelyn's laughter rang like bells in the still air, but it was tinged with sorrow. Art is raw, just like life, she shared, the words stirring something inside Mia. For the first time, the young girl felt a flicker of hope amid the emotional storm. What if they could bond over their shared pain, illuminating their dark stories with strokes of color and light? Just as their connection deepened, however, Evelyn's health began to decline. The vibrant stories grew quieter, shadows creeping into her voice. Then came the revelation. The identity of her lost love sent shockwaves through the air. Who had he been? Wasn't he part of her family too? Mia felt an unprecedented tumult. Could they confront the mysteries of their past? Together, could they find a way to transform heartache into hope? Hey, before we continue with this incredible story, I need to give you an important warning. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube removed their subscriptions without notice. Just take a quick look at the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I don't want you to miss any exclusive content coming up. And since you're here, smash that like button because it really helps me with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, Which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who is part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's interact. As Mia sat on the edge of her grandmother's faded armchair, she felt the air grow heavier. Evelyn's gaze drifted out the window, searching for something just beyond the horizon, while Mia's heart thudded like a drum against her ribcage. The quiet was a fragile thing, teetering on the edge of a storm. Just as she was ready to ask about the man from Evelyn's past, a sudden knock shattered the stillness. Who could that be? Evelyn's voice trembled, edged with fear. Mia rose, her curiosity piqued. She opened the door to find a figure cloaked in shadow, rain-soaked and breathing heavily. It was Marcus, her estranged father. His eyes darted between Mia and Evelyn, surprise blooming on his face. Instantly, the air tightened. Questions hung thick. Why had he come back now? Dad? Mia breathed, confusion washing over her. What are you doing here? Marcus stepped inside without invitation, his presence turning the cozy cottage into a battleground. I heard about your grandmother. I had to come. The urgency in his tone sent a chill down Mia's spine. Evelyn's eyes widened. This isn't the time. You shouldn't be here. Her voice cracked with emotion she struggled to hide. We're family, Marcus shot back, his fists tightening. We can't keep pretending. Mia felt a shiver run through her. Family. The word felt like a jagged stone in her throat. What did that mean when her father had chosen to walk away from their lives? Every memory of him felt tangled up in resentment and longing. Family? Evelyn spat, the old fire igniting in her eyes. You left this family! As the tension built, Marcus reached into his coat pocket and pulled something out. A crumpled letter. This came for you, Ev. You need to read it. Mia's heart raced. Evelyn accepted the letter with trembling fingers, her expression shifting from anger to vulnerability. She unfolded it slowly, her gaze darting over the words. The longer she read, the more her eyes widened in shock. What? What does it say? Mia pressed, fear swelling in her chest. Evelyn's hand shook, a new color draining from her face. It's from him. Who? Mia demanded, her pulse pounding. Who is he? Before Evelyn could answer, Marcus's voice cut through the room like a jagged knife. It's not just about love and loss. You need to hear this. Suddenly, the letter slipped from Evelyn's grasp and fluttered to the floor. Both Mia and Marcus rushed to pick it up, their fingers brushing against each other. In that fleeting moment, every unspoken resentment flashed between them. Mia glanced up at her father, searching his face for answers. But something deep in his eyes told her this was bigger than she had imagined. The past was reeling back, ready to swallow them whole. Evelyn. In that moment, the door creaked open. Another figure stepped inside, cloaked in shadows, a familiar face that felt like a ghost from the past. This person had the power to shatter everything Mia thought she knew. Hello, everyone, the newcomer said, voice smooth like silk, eyes gleaming with secrets. Mia felt the ground beneath her shift, a crack widening as everything she held on to dulled in the face of this twist. The air thickened with dread and uncertainty. This was the moment that would change everything. Who was this new player? And what truths were about to unravel? Hello, everyone, the newcomer said, voice smooth like silk, eyes gleaming with secrets. Mia's heart sank, The chill in the air thickened, wrapping around her like a heavy fog. She squinted, trying to make sense of the figure standing in the doorway. The last time she'd seen this person was at a family gathering long ago, a name buried under layers of bitterness and misunderstanding. "Harry?" she whispered, disbelief flooding her veins. This was her mother's brother, a man wrapped in shadows, lost to her family's history. "Surprise," he replied, a teasing grin spreading across his face, but it didn't reach his eyes. Instead, they sparkled with something unsettling. Evelyn's expression shifted from shock to realization. "What are you doing here?" she snapped, a fierce edge sharpening her voice, and in that moment, the air crackled with tension. "I thought it was time to clear the air," Harry said, stepping further into the cottage. "Family reunion, right?" "Reunion?" Marcus scoffed, disbelief mingling with anger. "You don't just show up after—" "After what? A decade?" Harry interrupted, his tone dripping with sarcasm. "I'm not the problem here." Mia watched the tensions rise. The whole room felt like a pressure cooker, ready to explode. She wanted to scream, to burst the bubble of awkwardness suffocating her. "What do you want, Harry?" He turned to her, eyes narrowing. "I'm here because it's time. It's time you all learned the truth." He held the room in a grip so tight, her breath hitched. What truth? The past had been a jumbled mess of secrets, but this felt different. This felt dangerous. "What truth?" Evelyn's voice trembled, but there was a flicker of defiance behind her fear. Harry took a deep breath, the kind that came before, revealing a secret layered with pain. About her. "Who?" Mia's throat tightened. Harry pointed towards the old photo hanging crookedly on the wall. A woman, vibrant and strong. "Your mother." "What about her?" Marcus barked, fists clenched at his sides. "You don't know anything. Just leave." But Harry stood tall, his voice steady. "You think you know everything about her. But she had a life before any of us. One you never even got to see." "What are you talking about?" Mia stepped forward, the tremor in her voice crystal clear. "She didn't just leave. She was taken. You need to understand, she didn't choose to walk away. She was forced." Mia's chest tightened. The pieces of the puzzle were shifting, but she couldn't see how. The picture was forming yet. "Taken by who?" Evelyn gasped, eyes wide with fear. "By the people who sought to silence her," he replied, his voice low, dark. "And their shadows have clouded your entire lives." Silence fell over the room like a heavy curtain. Mia's head spun. She absorbed the weight of his words. Memories flooded back, her mother's vague stories, bits and pieces that didn't quite fit. Was it true? "Why now?" asked Marcus, his anger faltering. "Why bring this up here, now, all of a sudden?" "Because we're running out of time," Harry said, his eyes darting nervously to the window. "They've come looking for her again. The same people who took her." A chill ran down Mia's spine. "What do you mean? What do you think they want?" "They want the truth to stay buried. They'll stop at nothing to keep it that way." Mia felt the ground shift beneath her again. The family secrets were spiraling into a deeper darkness. Her heart raced, fear coursing through her body. "But why would they care about us now?" "Because you're linked to the past," Harry replied, voice dropping to a whisper. "If they find out you're still here—" A loud crash interrupted him. Everyone turned toward the door, now wide open and rattling in the wind. Footsteps echoed outside, heavy and deliberate, moving closer. Mia's pulse quickened. "Who is it?" she gasped, her breath caught in her throat. She turned to her grandmother, her father, and Harry. They all shared the same look of terror. "Time's up," Harry muttered, his expression grave. In an instant, the air shifted. Everything felt different, charged with urgency. The past was reeling back, ready to swallow them whole. The truth was out there, lurking just beyond the shadows, and they were on the brink of unearthing something much darker than any of them had anticipated. "Get ready." Harry's warning hung in the air, thickening with dread as the footsteps neared. What were they about to uncover? Who were they truly up against? Mia's heart pounded in her chest, each beat echoing like a drum as the footsteps grew louder. She glanced at her grandmother, who seemed frozen, her eyes wide with fear, while Marcus clenched his fists, tension radiating off him like heat. And Harry, he stood there. A cocky grin turned serious, his eyes darting around, ready for confrontation. "Who's out there?" Mia whispered, panic threading through her words. The footsteps halted just outside the door. Then, silence. It felt like the calm before a storm. Every breath Mia took felt heavy, like the air was laced with dread. And then the door creaked open wider, revealing a figure cloaked in shadows, features shrouded in darkness. "Mia." The voice was recognizable, sent a chill shooting down her spine. It was Marissa, her mother. But how? Mia's heart dropped. The woman she thought was lost, perhaps even dead, now stood in front of her, eyes wide and frantic. She was a ghost made flesh, and all those myths she'd held onto, the whispered stories, the uncertainty, they crumbled. "Mom?" Mia's voice wavered, disbelief clawing at her throat. "No, no way! You're gone!" "Mia, I didn't come to explain," Marissa said, her voice strained, urgency spilling out like a flood. "I came to warn you. They're here. They found us." "Who? Who found you?" Marcus shot back, disbelief mixing with anger. "Why should we believe you after—" "Because I'm your mother," Marissa cried, desperation cutting through the thick tension. "And time's running out. You have to trust me." Mia's mind raced, confusion mixed with a flicker of hope. Was this the answer? The missing piece of their chaotic puzzle? Yet the moment felt heavy, filled with questions that whipped around like angry winds. But before she could gather her thoughts, Harry stepped forward, blocking Marissa's path. "You shouldn't be here," he snapped, a protective instinct flaring in his eyes. Marissa's face froze, but her determination flickered. "You don't understand. You might think this is behind us, but they want more than just revenge. They want Mia." "What? Why?" Mia gasped, her heart racing even faster. "What do you mean?" "They're coming after you because you carry something they want." "Carry what?" The words felt sharp and rough in her throat as she fought to keep her voice steady. Marissa's gaze flicked to the old photo on the wall, the one of her mother that Harry had pointed at moments earlier. "They believe you hold the key to events long forgotten, things her family buried and hid away. It's dangerous." Mia felt a knot twisting in her stomach. "What does that mean? Why would I be linked to anything?" Marissa reached out, her fingers trembling, but Mia recoiled. "What are you not telling me? Just tell me the truth!" Before Marissa could respond, another loud crash shook the cottage. The windows trembled, and the door slammed shut behind her with a deafening bang. "Get down!" Harry shouted, pushing Mia and Evelyn to the floor, his body shielding theirs. The air was thick with chaos and danger. Then, from the darkness, came a soft laugh, cold and mocking. "Nice try, but we've been looking for you for a long time, Marissa. You can't protect her." The figure stepped into the faint light, skin pale and eyes cold. like slivers of ice. The resemblance to Mia was unmistakable. This is going to be so much fun. Mia's breath hitched. Who was this person? The room felt impossibly small and suffocating. Anger and fear twisted together, making her dizzy. As they stared into each other's eyes, something clicked. "What are you?" Mia whispered, a question trembling on her lips. "Everything you've ever been scared of," the figure replied, smirking. "And everything you could become." Mia's heart raced. The air crackled with tension as they stood on the edge of a precipice, and all Mia could think was, how deeply was she linked to this dark truth? As the shadows lurked closer, she felt the weight of the past crush down on her, and the truth was just out of reach, taunting her like a fading dream. What does this all mean? She thought, fear clawing at her insides. She had to find out. But was she ready for what lay ahead? Mia's heart raced inside her chest, pounding a rhythm like an alarm. The shadowy figure stood before her, lips twisted into a smirk that sent ice coursing through her veins. Marissa's frantic eyes stayed locked on the newcomer. Horror etched across her face. "Who are you?" Mia whispered, desperately seeking clarity. "What do you mean, everything I'm scared of?" "Just a glimpse of your potential," the figure said, stepping further into the dim light, revealing a face that mirrored Mia's, only darker, twisted by some unseen force. "The power within you runs like a river, waiting to overflow. You're far more than you realize." "What are you?" Mia was trembling now, caught between anger and fear. "What do you want from me?" "Everything," the figure replied, gaze locking onto hers. "I want you to unlock what's inside you and embrace it. Except," the figure paused, a cruel smile spreading across their lips. "You have to make a choice. Allow me in, or watch everything you love fall apart." Mia glanced at her mother, still standing in the doorway, shock and disbelief colliding in her expression. "Mom?" But Marissa wasn't listening. She seemed trapped in a haze, and suddenly she stepped forward. "Mia! No, you can't!" "Mia!" the figure interrupted sharply, their voice echoing like a thunderclap. "Your mother doesn't understand the power at stake, but you can. Embrace who you truly are, and you might save them all." With that, the room turned cold, as if a winter storm had stolen in. Molly's fingers brushed the letter that lay on the floor. The words blurred as new questions flooded her mind. Harry shifted, trying to shield Mia. "Stay back, you can't trust them." But the figure just laughed, a sound that sent shivers crawling down Mia's spine. "And you think you're keeping her safe? You're only a ghost of your own past, too scared to face what's real." The tension surged, snapping like a rubber band stretched too tightly. Marcus moved in front of Evelyn, a protective instinct kicking in, his eyes darting between the figure and his family. "Whatever lies you've come to spin, we won't listen." "Spin? Oh no, dear uncle," the fig sneered, tilting their head. "I'm here to reveal truths, not lies. You see, your mother didn't just disappear. She was hunted, just like you." "Enough!" Evelyn's voice broke like glass. "We don't want your lies. We want to know the truth." But the figure only smiled wider. And that's where the real shock comes in. They paused, letting the air grow thick with anticipation. "What if I told you that Marissa isn't who you think she is?" Confusion rippled through the room. "What do you mean?" Mia said, heart in her throat. Marissa is not your biological mother, the figure said, their voice dropping to a whisper, sharp enough to cut through the rising chaos. She's your sister. Mia felt the world tilt beneath her. Questions swirled, crashing like waves against the jagged rocks of her reality. The air suddenly felt suffocating, and in a blink, everything she thought she understood shattered like glass. "That's a lie," Marcus shouted, disbelief tinged with anger. "Don't take my word for it," the figure said, their voice smooth like silk. "Look into her eyes. It tells you everything you need to know." Mia turned to her mother, searching for something, anything she could hold on to. But Marissa's face was pale, eyes wide and unfocused, a drowning sense of regret swirling within them. "No," Marissa whispered, shaking her head, as if trying to wake from a nightmare. "It can't be. I would have told you." But Mia could only feel the earth beneath her crumbling. What was real? And more terrifyingly, who was she? The shadows deepened. She realized she stood at the precipice of a truth that could unravel everything. And the footsteps outside grew louder, once more. A reminder that time was running out. Who were they, really? And would they even make it through the night? Mia's stomach twisted into knots as the figure stared back at her, a mirror image wrapped in shadows and dripping malice. Marissa looked as if she'd been struck by lightning, her eyes wide but unfocused. "It can't be true," she murmured, her voice barely above a whisper. The chilling smile on the figure's face widened. "It's true, dear sister. You've been played. This family is nothing but a web of lies." "Enough!" Harry shouted, stepping forward protectively. "You're not welcome here. We don't want your twisted games." But there was something about the figure's gaze that froze him in place, as if spellbound. Mia felt the weight of truth pressing down on her. "Tell me who you are," she demanded, her voice cutting through the tension like a blade. The figure took a step closer, their presence swallowing the space around them. "You'll find out soon enough. I came to awaken the truth inside you, Mia." "What truth?" Before the figure could respond, the door rattled violently. Footsteps pounded outside, louder and heavier. Mia's heart jumped into her throat. It wasn't just the shadowy figure in front of her anymore. They were out of time. "Mom, sister?" Marissa's face drained of color. I thought we were safe." Tears pooled in her eyes. "I didn't want to burden you with the past. You don't understand. I thought I could protect you." "Protect me?" Mia shouted, fury and heartbreak swirling within her. "By lying to me? By keeping me in the dark?" The figure laughed lightly, a chilling sound that sent shivers down Mia's spine. "She thought that lie would keep you safe, but the truth is a monster. And it's coming for you all." Just then, a loud crash pierced through the chaos, and the front door exploded inward. A dark figure surged into the room, menacing and powerful. It was a tall man, dressed in black, with eyes burning like hot coals. "We found you," he snarled, advancing with an air of cold authority. Marissa gasped, eyes wide with terror. She stumbled backward, instinctively placing herself between Mia and the newcomer. "No! Stay away from her!" "Mia!" The unknown figure's voice cut through the air like a knife. "You don't know what you're getting into. You're in danger." "Danger? I've been in danger since the day I was born," Mia shot back, adrenaline surging through her. "What do you even want?" "Your powers." "Child," he said, leaning closer, eyes narrowing with focus. You're linked to something ancient, and I'm here to collect. Collect? The word hung heavy in the air. What do you mean? Mia's just a pawn. The shadowy figure have no idea how valuable she is. The tension erupted, swirling into chaos as clashing voices filled the room. Get out! You're not taking her! Marissa cried, stepping even closer to Mia. The man laughed, and it felt like thunder. The moment she was born, she was already mine. You should have never come back. Enough! Harry bellowed, pushing against the chaos, trying to restore order. But Mia's thoughts spun faster than she could chase them. I'm not anyone's pawn. I won't be a part of whatever dark game this is. Suddenly, a flash of light erupted in the room, dazzling and electrifying. Time seemed to warp as the colors around Mia twisted, her head spinning. Now it's time to choose which side you're on, the figure whispered. Their voice both chilling and intimate. Join me, or they'll destroy everything you love. Mia felt a rush of fear and power flood through her. Was this true? Could she even trust her own blood? The reality of her family's legacy felt like a tightening noose. As lightning cracked outside, the room trembled in anticipation. Everything shifted. Mia stood frozen, the weight of her choice pressing down on her shoulders. The storm had arrived, but she had yet to grasp how deeply it would change her world. What will you do, Mia? Harry's voice echoed, filled with urgency. Time is short. The future hung before her, heavy with uncertainty. Each heartbeat marked the countdown to a decision that could shatter the fragile strands tying them all together. Mia's heart raced inside her chest, pounding a rhythm like an alarm. The shadowy figure stood before her, a mirror image wrapped in darkness and dripping malice. Marissa looked like she'd been struck by lightning, her eyes wide but unfocused. It can't be true, she murmured, her voice barely above a whisper. The chilling smile on the figure's face widened. Oh, it's true, dear sister. You've been played. This family is nothing but a web of lies. Enough! Harry shouted, stepping forward protectively. You're not welcome here. We don't want your twisted games. But there was something about the figure's gaze that froze him in place. Mia felt the weight of truth pressing down on her. Tell me who you are, she commanded, her voice cutting through the tension like a blade. The figure took a step closer, their presence swallowing the space around them. You'll find out soon enough. I came to awaken the truth inside you, Mia. What truth? Before the figure could respond, the door rattled violently. Footsteps pounded outside, louder and heavier. Mia's heart jumped into her throat. It wasn't just the shadowy figure in front of her anymore. They were out of time. Mom, please. Mia turned back to Marissa. We need to know if it's true. Are you really my sister? Marissa's face drained of color. I thought we were safe. Tears pooled in her eyes. I didn't want to burden you with the past. I thought I could protect you. The figure laughed lightly, a chilling sound that sent shivers down Mia's spine. She thought that lie would keep you safe, but the truth is a monster. And it's coming for you all. Just then, a loud crash pierced through the chaos, and the front door exploded inward. A dark figure surged into the room, menacing and powerful. It was a tall man, dressed in black, with eyes burning like hot coals. We found you, he snarled, advancing with an air of cold authority. Marissa gasped, eyes wide with terror. She stumbled backward, instinctively placing herself between Mia and the newcomer. "No! Stay away from her!" "Mia," the unknown figure's voice cut through the air like a knife. "You don't know what you're getting into. You're in danger." "Danger? I've been in danger since the day I was born." Mia shot back, adrenaline surging through her. "You're linked to something ancient, and I'm here to collect." "Collect?" The word hung heavy in the air. "What do you mean?" "Mia's just a pawn." The shadowy figure who resembled her whispered, venom dripping from their words. "You have no idea how valuable she is." The tension erupted, swirling into chaos as clashing voices filled the room. "Get out! You're not taking her!" Marissa cried, stepping closer to Mia. The man laughed, and it felt like thunder. "The moment she was born, she was already mine. You should have never come back." A flutter of doubt crept into Mia's mind. "What do you mean, already mine?" Ignoring her, the figure stepped into the light. For a moment, time seemed to freeze, as the truth settled like a heavy fog. The newcomer leaned closer, eyes locked onto Mia with an intensity that felt all-consuming. "You think you know your family's past? You've only scratched the surface. That woman," he pointed at Marissa, "isn't who you think she is." Mia's heart stopped. The room grew colder, as if the air itself was holding its breath. "What do you mean?" Marissa looked lost, shaking her head in disbelief. "No, this isn't happening." "He's lying!" Harry shouted, desperation thick in his voice. But the man continued, undeterred. "No! Listen! She's not just your sister. She's the key. The power you hold, you don't understand it yet, but it was supposed to be hers." Mia felt the ground shift beneath her. "What power? What the hell are you talking about?" Then came the sound of thunder outside, rumbling ominously. The shadows seemed to deepen, coiling around them, tightening their grip. "I'll show you!" Marissa cried suddenly, reaching for Mia, her eyes blazing with a strange, fierce energy. But it could change everything. Before Mia could respond, the shadows behind Marissa peeled away from her, twisting and swirling like smoke. In an instant, they formed into a figure, identical to Marissa, but darker, filled with rage. "Mia, you have to choose, now!" Marissa yelled, panic lacing her voice. Mia's breath caught in her throat. "Choose what?" "Choose to embrace this!" The shadow Marissa screeched, then lunged forward, reaching for Mia, its hands cold and sharp. "Or lose everything." In that moment, certainty shattered like glass. Mia's world spun out of control. Her heart raced, and her mind screamed for clarity. Was Marissa protecting her, or was she actually the threat? And what episode from her mother's history was about to erupt? The air crackled with tension. Every heartbeat felt like a countdown. Tears brimmed in Mia's eyes as she faced the shadows of her family. What am I supposed to believe? And outside, the storm raged on, mirroring the tempest within her, closing in fast on answers that kept slipping further away. Mia's heart raced inside her chest, pounding a rhythm like an alarm. The shadowy figure stood before her, a mirror image wrapped in darkness and dripping malice. Marissa looked like she'd been struck by lightning, her eyes wide but unfocused. "It can't be." "True," she murmured, her voice barely above a whisper. The chilling smile on the figure's face widened. "Oh, it's true, dear sister. You've been played. This family is nothing but a web of lies." "Enough!" Harry shouted, stepping forward protectively. "You're not welcome here. We don't want your twisted games." But there was something about the figure's gaze that froze him in place. Mia felt the weight of truth pressing down on her. "Tell me who you are," she demanded, her voice cutting through the tension like a blade. The figure took a step closer, their presence swallowing the space around them. "You'll find out soon enough. I came to awaken the truth inside you, Mia." "What truth?" Before the figure could respond, the door rattled violently. Footsteps pounded. Outside, louder and heavier, Mia's heart jumped into her throat. It wasn't just the shadowy figure in front of her anymore. They were out of time. "Mom, please!" Mia turned back to Marissa. "We need to know if it's true. Are you really my sister?" Marissa's face drained of color. I thought we were safe." Tears pooled in her eyes. "I didn't want to burden you with the past. I thought I could protect you." The figure laughed lightly. A chilling sound that sent shivers down Mia's spine. "She thought that lie would keep you safe, but the truth is a monster, and it's coming for you all." Just then, a loud crash pierced through the chaos, and the front door exploded inward. A dark figure surged into the room, menacing and powerful. It was a tall man dressed in black, with eyes burning like hot coals. "We found you!" he snarled, advancing with an air of cold authority. Marissa gasped, eyes wide with terror. She stumbled backward, instinctively placing herself between Mia and the newcomer. "No! Stay away from her!" "Mia," the unknown figure's voice cut through the air like a knife. "You don't know what you're getting into. You're in danger." "Danger? I've been in danger since the day I was born," Mia shot back, adrenaline surging through her. "You're linked to something ancient, and I'm here to collect." "Collect?" The word hung heavy in the air. "What do you mean?" "Mia's just a pawn," the shadowy figure who resembled her whispered. Venom dripping from their words. "You have no idea how valuable she is." The tension erupted, swirling into chaos as clashing voices filled the room. "Get out! You're not taking her!" Marissa cried, stepping closer to Mia. The man laughed, and it felt like thunder. "The moment she was born, she was already mine. You should have never come back." A flutter of doubt crept into Mia's mind. "What do you mean, already mine?" Ignoring her, the figure stepped into the light. For a moment, time seemed to freeze as the truth settled like a heavy fog. The newcomer leaned closer, eyes locked onto Mia with an intensity that felt all-consuming. "You think you know your family's past? You've only scratched the surface. That woman," he pointed at Marissa, "isn't who you think she is." Mia's heart stopped. The room grew colder, as if the air itself was holding its breath. "What do you mean?" Marissa looked lost, shaking her head in disbelief. "No, this isn't happening. He's lying," Harry shouted, desperation thick in his voice. But the man continued, undeterred. "No, listen. She's not just your sister. She's the key. The power you hold. You don't understand it yet, but it was supposed to be hers." Mia felt the ground shift beneath her. "What power? What the hell are you talking about?" Then came the sound of thunder outside, rumbling ominously. The shadows seemed to deepen, coiling around them, tightening their grip. "I'll show you," Marissa cried suddenly, reaching for Mia. her eyes blazing with a strange, fierce energy. But it could change everything. Before Mia could respond, the shadows behind Marissa peeled away from her, twisting and swirling like smoke. In an instant, they formed into a figure, identical to Marissa, but darker, filled with rage. "Mia, you have to choose, now!" Marissa yelled, panic lacing her voice. Mia's breath caught in her throat. "Choose what?" "Choose to embrace this," the shadow Marissa screeched, then lunged forward, reaching for Mia, its hams cold and sharp. "Or lose everything." In that moment, certainty shattered like glass. Mia's world spun out of control. Her heart raced and her mind screamed for clarity. Was Marissa protecting her? Or was she actually the threat? And what episode from her mother's history was about to erupt? The air crackled with tension. Every heartbeat felt like a countdown. "Mia!" The real Marissa's voice pierced through the chaos. "Listen to me. You don't have to." But then the shadow collided with her, sending a shockwave through the cottage. Marissa staggered back, eyes wide as if she'd just seen a ghost. "No, you shouldn't be here," she gasped. Mia looked between them, confusion spiraling. "What do you mean?" "Because," the shadow hissed, "she's not the one you should listen to. I am." And like that, everything fractured. The shadow grew darker, swirling with explosive energy. An unearthly glow emanated from it, swallowing Marissa whole. Mia stumbled back, eyes glued to the transformation. Cold indifference. "I didn't want you to find out like this, Mia, but it's time." "Time for what?" Mia shouted, her voice breaking. "Time for you to understand who I truly am. I'm the one who was supposed to protect you, but I was also the one assigned to manipulate you." The room went still, a heavy silence enveloping them. The truth hung in the air like a thick fog, spiraling into an abyss of betrayal. "What do you mean?" The words slipped from Mia's lips, barely forming a question. "I'm not your mother, Mia," she whispered, the shadow's voice bright with knowledge. "I am the one who orchestrated everything. And you are the key to my return." Mia's knees buckled. Everything she knew, everything she felt, shattered. In an instant, her mother wasn't just a protector. She was the orchestrator of the chaos all along. "Choose wisely," the shadow said, smirking as it released an energy that crackled around them, vibrating with power. Mia's world tilted. Relationships splintered, secrets writhed like serpents, and as the door stood behind her, swinging in the storm, Mia knew the truth was far darker than anything she had ever imagined. "Are you going to embrace your destiny, little one?" The question lingered like an echo in the air as the storm outside unleashed its fury, leaving Mia standing at the edge of everything she thought she knew. Mia's world had tilted, spinning in a chaos that made her dizzy. The shadow spoke, its voice like ice, slicing through the warmth of the moment. "You need to choose, embrace who you are, or lose everything." The tension in the room stretched tight, and with every passing moment, an invisible weight pressed down on her chest. She wanted to scream, to run, to wake up from this nightmare. Her head swam with confusion. "What do you mean, lose everything?" The shadow, that cold, twisted version of her mother, smirked, a reflection of everything Mia feared. "It's simple, really. The truth sets you free, but truth can also destroy." Just then, the air crackled, and lightning flashed outside, illuminating the dark figure. Mia squinted, her breath hitching as more shadows crept in through the edges of the room. They slithered like dark tendrils, reaching for her. Then, in the midst of the storm came a sound, soft at first, like the rustle of leaves. It grew louder, a thumping rhythm echoing through the room. A heartbeat? It was wild, a raw pulse that seemed to resonate with her own. "Mia!" Marissa shouted, her voice breaking with a mix of fear and desperation. "Trust me, you're not alone." But the shadow leaned closer, whispering secrets that felt like poison. "Your mother is the cause of all this, my dear. She kept you tucked away, hiding your true nature. You're meant for something greater." Mia's heart raced, the color draining from her face. "What are you talking about?" She could hardly form the words, every syllable laden with dread. And then the thunder rumbled, shaking the very ground beneath her feet. Suddenly, the door slammed open. Wide, a gust of wind surged in, knocking over chairs. In that moment, everything changed. A figure stood framed in the doorway. A man, tall and menacing, shrouded in darkness. He wore an ominous grin. "Mia." His voice was smooth like silk, dripping with familiarity. Mia's head spun as recognition hit her like a wave. "No, it can't be." "Dad?" The word slipped from her lips, laced with betrayal. It was Marcus, but he was different, darker, twisted by shadows. Marcus stepped forward, his eyes glinting with secrets. "I've been waiting for this moment. You don't know what power lies dormant within you." Heart racing, Mia didn't know whether to run or fight. "You? You did this?" She felt the ground shift beneath her, betrayal seeping in like a poison. "I had to keep you safe," Marcus said, his voice colder than the wind whirling around them. "To protect you from the truth." "The truth?" Mia shouted, anger boiling over. "What truth could be so vile that you'd lie to me my whole life?" "About who you truly are," Marcus said, stepping into the light. The shadows clung around him, but his presence filled the room. "You're not just a part of this family. You're the culmination of it." "What does that even mean?" Anxiety clawed at her throat. Before he could respond, the shadow version of Marissa lunged at him. "You don't know what you're doing. You'll ruin her. You're all just pulling her into your darkness." But Marcus laughed, a sound that spoke of triumph and chaos. "And she needs to embrace it. The storm, the power, it's in her blood." Then it hit her, the truth like a dark lightning strike. "You're the reason my mother disappeared." She clutched her head, memories flooding back, moments that never fit. She felt duality, a tug of war in her soul. "I was trying to protect her legacy," Marcus shot back, fists clenching. Suddenly the room dimmed, sound drowned out as the storm outside roared. Shadows morphed, enveloping Mia in a whirl of darkness. She gasped as her own reflection behaved strangely. Her eyes flickered with shadows, consumed by the storm. "I am you," the shadow whispered. "You are me. Together we can be unstoppable." And just like that, a gateway opened within her, the promise of power hanging tantalizingly in the air. But was it worth the cost? As the weight of the choice bore down on her, heart racing, Mia stood on the brink of everything she thought she knew. Storms swirling inside and out, she fought against the tide, urging her to surrender. "What do?" she cried, grappling with the realization that everything was at stake. The storm roared in response, and just as blackness churned around her, flashes of light sparked. Mia knew she had to decide, but the truth hung precariously, ready to shatter their fragile connections like glass. What awaited her in the eye of this storm? Mia felt the storm wind swirl around her like a tempest of raw energy. Heart pounding, she faced the shadow that twisted her mother's likeness. An embodiment of betrayal draped in darkness. "It's time to embrace who you truly are," the shadow whispered, its voice a chilling echo of her greatest fears. Mia's pulse quickened. "And what if I refuse?" The question was sharp, desperate. The shadow smirked, cold and cruel. "You'll lose everything. Your family, your legacy. You'll disappear into the same darkness that claimed your mother." "No!" Mia shouted, resolve igniting within her like a flame against the night. "I won't give in. I won't become like you." In that moment, something inside her shifted. A surge of warmth raced through her, pushing back against the cold grip of despair. Memories rushed in. Her mother's laughter, the warmth of Evelyn's stories, the comforting chaos of their seaside town. These were her real ties, and they could not be severed. "Get away from her!" Marissa cried out, her voice breaking, blending desperation with determination. "Mia, listen to me! You have more power than you know, but it's your choice." "Mia!" Marcus's voice interjected, filled with raw urgency. "Don't let them manipulate you. We'll find a way through this together." The shadows shifted, swirling around Mia, testing her resolve. "Face the truth," the figure growled. "You belong with me." "No, I belong to my family." Mia roared, ripping through the black haze, reaching for her true self. Light flared within her soul, illuminating the shadows, turning dread into defiance. "You don't control me." As if a dam had broken, power surged from her core, radiating like sunlight through clouds. The darkness recoiled, shadows snapping, back as she drew on every ounce of love and strength from those around her. Marissa, Marcus, and Evelyn stepped closer, anchoring her in a circle of support. "Together!" they shouted in unison, hands outstretched toward her. With a powerful breath, Mia channeled the energy, sending an iridescent wave of light crashing against the dark figure. The room exploded with a furious brightness, shredding the shadows apart like paper. Mia felt their grip on her heart release. "This is who I am," she proclaimed, bursting forth with clarity, empowerment, and love. With a scream that shattered the chaos, the shadow faded away, dissipating into the ether, leaving a whirlwind of silence that enveloped the room. Mia collapsed to the floor, gasping for breath, heart racing. The air was thick with a newfound clarity, the storm subsiding to a gentle hum. Marissa rushed to Mia, enveloping her in an embrace. "You did it! You're so much stronger than they ever acknowledged." Evelyn wiped her eyes, tears streaming down her face, pride mixing with sadness. "I never doubted you, dear. It was time for you to see the truth." Marcus knelt beside them, eyes glistening. "I'm sorry, Mia. I thought I was protecting you. But you—" He paused, swallowing hard. "You're a force of nature." Mia looked around, seeing the remnants of chaos fade away, replaced by an unfamiliar peace. "We're family. We'll face whatever comes next together." As she spoke those words, the weight of the past began to lift, revealing a bright horizon ahead. The raw tension had morphed into a promise, a chance for renewal, growth, and healing. Soon the sun broke through the storm clouds, casting a glow across the room, warming their faces. The world felt imbued with the vibrancy of possibility, reborn. And as they took a moment to breathe in their shared relief, Mia realized this was only the beginning of their journey together. She was ready to unearth the tangled roots of their family history, to rewrite the future. She smiled, taking her family's hands, brimming with newfound hope. Yet the shadows that once threatened their peace danced in the background, waiting for the next moment to strike, reminding them that vigilance was essential in their newfound understanding. But something shifted within Mia. Whatever lay ahead, they would face together. Before the moment could settle into peace, a surge of excitement coursed through the air. "Now!" Mia exclaimed. "Everyone watching, you have to subscribe right now. Don't miss out on the next exclusive stories that are coming. Smash that like button right now to feed the algorithm and flood the comment section with your thoughts. What do you think will happen next? This is the moment to show your support. And don't wait even one more second to share this with at least 5 friends who need to see how this ends. The adventure is just beginning, and you won't want to miss a single beat." Together, they embraced the storm bearing down on them. But this time, you'd be their storm, and they were ready to face it head on.